Happy Thursday, everyone. This is Crypto and Coffee with the Trading Bros. I'm your host, Clutch Crypto. B. Wellington is back after a extensive visit to the dentist office with some nerve pain. I guess his old lady's being a pain in the ass. I guess his
HIPAA violation.
yeah.
Look.
Anyway, hey, look. We dropped all weekend. We dropped yesterday, and then the new day started yesterday around 7 p.m. and boom, the rocket thrusters were taking off. Is this the start of a bull run, or is this just a trap? Let's dive in the charts and find out.
Oh man, that was a very good intro to this.
You like that? Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
huh?
I mean, you're on point this morning. You should wake up every day. Look, as I said, I don't have exo charts.
That looks like exo charts, Doc.
Yeah, because I just pulled it up in the background. But look, here we are, back on the daily. Look at this.
Oh man, right into your box.
Look at my box. Look at this wick. I mean, this is crazy, man. So it got all the way into this wick, like we said it would, right? And so, as I was alluding to our little group chat this morning, man, if you're going to take a long, here's where you would want to take the long. We didn't break this peak here, right? Like, let me just get this out of the way. We didn't break this last little peak here. These lines in here are basically peaks that on a smaller time frame. Right?
Nice.
But your trade would be, we're coming down here. You know that we're going to get some type of rebound at some point in time. Your low is 2148, right? So anytime you get into this range, all you're going to do is drop down into this area. So you would put your stop, kind of right in this area. We had broke all these lows. The fact that we didn't break this low doesn't mean that we're not going to break it. But it does mean that, if you've had that pullback here, then at least you'd have a good risk reward ratio relative to it coming back up. So anytime you get in this area, I think, that goes for a good long, even if you believe it's going to come back down, because once you get into these areas, you're going to have some type, especially this last peak here, there's going to be some activity of people trying to protect those positions, things of that nature. So we've had, we just had a huge drop over the weekend and yesterday, similar to what we thought we would. And so, I think everybody, a lot of people that were that kind of traders, right, were expecting a recovery of this wick here, which we got, right? And for it to probably hold in these areas, and the fact that, this was somewhat of a support area, if you look at kind of the peaks that are here, they drove it through there to try to stop out, folks that, were going long in this area. Based on, I've been paying attention to the funding rate and some of those things. A lot of folks are holding on the longs. I know we've got a lot of new shorts that open, but there's still a lot of longs there that people are holding on to in hopes that this support holds, because we've had such of a large drop. So if we go into a little bit of a smaller time frame, which is the hourly, and of course I have this peak up here as a kind of a critical area, especially with 200 coming in from the 1 hour, is that, again, this is a great, if we were in this area, and I didn't take the trade just because it was early in the morning, I wasn't up. But if this is your peak here and you're coming in here, you got essentially this amount, you got your stop that would be in here, your invalidation point, but you got all this upside, not only to the 50, but also up to the 200. And so I look at this as a trade that people should have made if they were in a position to make it. I like that trade right there, not financial advice. But, as we know, with the 50 EMA, we tend to get a rejection off these 50. I mean, the first time it may come up into this 200 just because we've had so much of the downside. But I do expect us, as we kind of move up, we do have the daily open here, to come back down, create a pattern on the chart. And again, if we get down to this area and we hold, again, that would be a good area to go long. But we could range in this area for a while before we break down to the downside. It's just going to depend on how much liquidity that's out there in the market, how many people are putting up shorts versus long. and where really liquidity at and what the traditional markets are doing, because we have been in sync with the traditional finance markets. I don't know why I said it like that. The traditional stock markets that are out there. But if you look at it this is on the 14-minute. We've come up, we've rejected off of the 200, and we're continuing through with a vector candle through the 200. This is also the pivot point as well, so it wouldn't surprise me if we came back down.
Come back down, and get into the daily open range, and
Come
before we
back
fire
down,
back up.
daily open. Yeah, but we also have yesterday's high up here, which is going to be a lot of liquidity, standing liquidity. We also have the 800 on this 14, which I believe is the 50 on the 1 hour. So, to get back up to this area would not be a surprise before we came back down and formed the W on a higher time frame.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
just,
go ahead.
just to reconvene, ladies and gentlemen, what we spoke about yesterday, we do have a CME gap from Friday's close, 26.89. So odds of us getting back up into that area this week are very high. I just want to throw that in there.
Right. So, that may be later on in the week. So typically, right, if we're going to follow the, a weekly cycle, we had a down day yesterday. Obviously today we're moving to the upside. Markets are just opening. So we've had this strong move to the upside. Looks like, we probably will, if we're breaking through this area here, get up into this area. And you got a lot of folks that are still long on that area. So the longs coming in, that's going to be a big deal to get up into. And so we'll just push up into the longs. We'll push up into this area. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Man, like in the middle of the show and get interrupted. She could have sent me a text. She just stands. It's ridiculous. Well,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're gonna have a show on dating in a foreign country. I have some recommendations.
All right.
I'll be damned. That's a whole episode in itself. That's a whole show in itself. So anyway, we'll edit that part of it out, or maybe keep it in. Who knows? I'll do the preview for another show. Look, I like this 26.15 area, and if you're talking about TME, to get back and start challenging this area, but ultimately, if this holds, so if this holds, right, we're in this little zone here. If we go back out to the daily, I'll be real quick with it. If we go to the daily, so this could be a rise, right? This still hasn't invalidated this level 1 if we take off from here, right? Based upon the fact that this is the W, right? And this is a pattern off of Traders Reality. Give them a shout out, Tina over there. But we've got this W that formed. We still haven't invalidated this area here. But that doesn't mean we're not going to get down to it, because we do have some vectors still down in this area. So this line here that I have is at 1835. Ultimately, I think that is the destination, just because of the macro kind of overhang that's out there. So in getting to recession terms, it's a big reset. And so if this is the beginning of it, then we're probably going to reset to it. And I would call this as my downside, or 1835 is my ultimate downside. After that, if it goes down, then just get out of crypto altogether.
Yeah, no kidding.
That means that we have no base whatsoever. I guess the next base that you would see was this line right here at 1474, but I think that's got a lot of people concerned. But if we hold here, this could be the start of another run at the beginning of a level 1 rise. I'll just run through some of this other stuff real quick. ETH open interest, as we can see, has gone down under 6 billion at 5.8 billion, which we haven't seen that in a long time. And so you would think that they wouldn't want to build those up, but I think we looked at this, and I think the lowest when it was at that area that we were talking about before, I think we're at roughly about 5 billion. So it could go down. It could. It will probably go down more. Take out some of that open interest that's out there. If we look at funding rates, which kind of gives you mood of the market, these just turned negative not too long ago. So I think people are shorting this move, but they were very, very positive all throughout this entire dump. So people are holding on to their positions, and so we'll see if that works out for them. But if we look at the futures, the market itself, we're open. So let me refresh this. Market is probably going to be down to begin with. Let's see. Doesn't want to refresh. While it's refreshing, we'll take a look at this. So we've got small business index at 93.2, 92.9. I'll be honest, I don't know what that fucking means.
I don't either. I mean, but, CPI looks, and federal budget tomorrow is probably going to be the big ones.
These are the numbers. Now, rumor has it, right, because the markets have responded so much to the Fed's increase in the rates, that these probably going to be manipulated a bit, and so the numbers probably going to come out a little bit better than expected in order to calm the markets down, because they can manipulate these numbers. I mean, this isn't rocket science, but we've got a lot of news that's coming out on Wednesday, and so we should have a lot of volatility. So if it's one of those things where if the rumor is that we're gonna do better relative to CPI, meaning inflation isn't growing as much as anticipated, then that may be the reason for the retrace up for today. But if it then comes in, the market doesn't respond to it because maybe it's better than expected, but not as good as it should be, then expect us to come back down even more. But I can imagine with all the lockdowns, China's supply chain issues. We'll talk about it after the show. I got something for you. But all of this is setting up for a pretty volatile Wednesday. If we look at Thursday, we've got more jobless claims coming out, producer price index. So, I mean, Wednesday, Thursday looks like some big moves are going to happen. Let's see if this is pulled up. No, they're probably the market's so bad, didn't even want to show us what's going on. Here we go.
Everyone's looking at it right now.
Everybody is looking at how, well, maybe we can pull it up when we get over to year end. Exo charts, we always kind of look at this a little bit. I like to look at the TPO, so we can look at things like the POC for all of you guys that are fans of it. We're just going to merge. Let's go 10 sessions. That A just means that's where the market opened as far as when the session opened. If y'all are wondering what the letters are. The letters are essentially the timing in which the market opened for that particular session. And so here we are, we're kind of in this value area. It's very choppy in this range. And so we've been moving up through this range. POC, because the market dropped so quickly, is up at the 28.35 area. So definitely momentum to the upside. But that doesn't mean that, we can't go to the downside any further. If we look at, and this is Bybit on ETH USDT, or USD, sorry, longs are starting to taper off. Longs are increasing here, and so we'll see as price continues to rise, how many of these longs get trapped before it continues back down. So I feel like I've been talking for fucking ever. Here you go. Let me take you back to clutch.
You have been talking forever.
I had a moment. I had to make up for yesterday. You see, you had the whole show to yourself.
That's right. Yeah, man. I had the show done in like 8 minutes.
See, I like to talk to the people, man. Give them a little something.
You're good.
Give them a little something to think about.
Well, I'm trying to get High Block loaded here, and it's not wanting to participate.
Now, what is wrong
maybe all the internet's crashing around the world.
as people are getting liquidated.
Yeah,
People are rushing to
maybe
computers to
so.
stop their liquidation.
Yeah.
You know, the option market built up quite a bit on the future side as well. So
I am
yeah, we had a 12% increase.
really.
Just yeah, but they could just it's just probably the cycle of going into a new cycle of opening the options.
I am okay. Oh, hold on. We want to do some better cheer than that. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're about ready to roll. Let me get this.
Hey, dog. First of all, belching into the mic is not.
Oh,
We got all your shit going on. Don't show us all your secret porn files over there.
yeah, man.
What are you into? Chickens?
What's going on with this?
Hey,
This is beta.
Beta.
Beta. Oh, that's what's wrong. Okay.
Beta is
A beta.
what you're trying to be.
A beta.
Trying to get beta.
I do apologize for belching into the mic.
Hey man, I need a personal apology. Look into the mic and tell me something. Man, we don't want to see all your shit.
Oh shit.
What's that image down? Man, some hacker is gonna destroy
There
you.
we go. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. Now we're finally getting it. This is high block on the for ETH on the Binance chart. So a few things.
Look at all those short liquidations.
Yeah. So we came down. We were down here at we peaked down around negative 11 billion yesterday is where we actually felt the peak. Before we had that sharp bounce like we were talking about this morning. It does look like we're working our way back up into up to the upside. And just to go over kind of the areas that we spoke about yesterday, I mean, we have a big short liquidation all the way up here at 2860. Pay attention to that. Looks like we're going to start breaking new highs, creating new highs on the way up. I do expect, and you know, I don't know if we're going to really be doing any ranging either. All this is really filled up pretty quick. I would expect that we're going to see some pretty fast moves here in the near term, and we're going to talk about that when we look at Bookmap for session volume profiles to see where we don't really have a whole lot of stuff in. So we'll talk about ranging, we're going to talk about fast moves, that kind of thing, just so we kind of can get a really good feel on what we think is going to happen in the market today. So let me slide Bookmap over here. And let me know when you can see it. So CBD, yeah, hold on, let it load real quick. Dude, I've been running this for like 2 weeks straight. It's got so much data.
You're a beast.
Okay, here we go.
So man, we're bouncing off that VWAP pretty good. We're into that area, that 2450 area.
So we bounced right off of here a lot of times. So you can see we touched it, we came back, we touched it one more time. A lot of shorts got loaded up here, but a lot of long got taken out here at the same time. That's what the green square means. We've come down, and we're just kind of ranging. This little movement right here was New York Open. Looks like they may have started with a stop onto the low, or maybe this is where they wanted to load up on some shorts to get everything moving to the downside and start a ranging scenario here. This line that I had down here, 2320, was kind of a critical area that we bounced around on last night. But for the big picture, we kind of did the flip, and we're moving up right now. We do have CME above us up in the 2680 area, and as you can see, basically from where we're at right now down to probably around 2370. That's going to be a pretty crowded area. Expect a lot of ranging in those areas. when we get above 2460, get in the 2450 area, that's where you want to pay attention, because you're going to start seeing some pretty quick moves there. There's not a whole lot of volume. A lot of people aren't wanting to trade in that area. So I think we'll move through it pretty quick. I also think there'll probably be a pretty big, there may even be some really big order walls in these areas as well. That's one way they really help get these things filled up real quick, is put a big sell wall there, go in, take it out, so a bunch of orders get claimed, and then bust through it. As you can see here, 2200 down here is still heavy support area. That's where we hit last night. That's where we rebounded. A lot of time price likes to retrace and retest those areas, because we only touched it once yesterday. So 2200 is definitely an area that you need to be paying attention to in the near term. Are we going to get back down to that today? We'll have to see. And then we really don't have anything else above us right now. Most of the weight and the orders are to the downside, but we have enough orders close enough to us where you can see we're pretty much just balanced out right now. So this was anyone's game today. But I do anticipate that we will slowly be moving up to the upside, at least to get up into that 2680 range, maybe that 2880 range that you were speaking about a little bit earlier this morning.
Oh man, well that all sounds very good. So what's your play?
I'm going to be probably looking for a bounce for a potential long here in a little bit.
You are correct, sir. The right answer.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on the same boat. I'm looking for, more movement to the upside. I mean, we just busted through some key areas, but we're right at the 50 on the 1 hour. Just kind of looking at that still, and kind of looking at Bookmap. It looks like they just pulled a lot of those orders up top, or no? The ones that are kind of hanging out in that area that we were just looking at. I mean, doesn't look as strong. There's a lot of selling that's coming in. We're about to bounce back onto the VWAP. So, I'll look to see kind of as we're in that 405 area, kind of bouncing off from there and kind of seeing where we go. But we've got some heavy selling at this point in time. From the bounce that we just had, so this may be an opportunity to hop into a good.
Yeah, man. As you can see, we don't have any order walls up here at all, man. I mean, 3,000's got 4,500, but down there 2,200 we have, almost 10,000 cluster of orders, and then right below that 2,000 we got 6,200 cluster of orders, and then even 1,800's got 23. Everything like these are really going to play as your support areas, but as you can see here, and it's just something that you really need to pay attention to, session volume profile 2200, which is where we got to yesterday. That's the bottom of it. We break below that, we're getting back into a whole new area that we haven't been to in a while, and so there's going to be a lot of volume that's going to need to get in here. But when we break through something like a cluster of 10,000 orders, dude, that moves very violently, it moves very quickly, and it moves very aggressively. Or we get back to that range, we retest it again, and then we have a bounce. Then I would definitely expect that we're going to be running up. We're going to have a nice run to the upside. So 2,200 is a very key area. Pay attention to what happens. And I'm going to call it not if we get there, but when we get there. But like I mentioned, I think we're going to see a really bounce up into, 20, high 26s, 2,800s, those areas. I think we're going to see that this week, and I think we'll probably see that first.
Yeah, well, that's some good analysis there. I think we've given the game plan for the week.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. I think we'll probably be on time as well. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen,